Hello everyone, welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zeng. Finally, the 2-week ban is over, and I'm doing a live show again on my main channel. Please make sure you subscribe to both my main and backup channels so that you won't miss my updates in the future. Today, I will talk about two issues. How far has the CCP's digital monitoring and control gone in the name of pandemic control, and why should we care? The second topic is about two new trending phenomena in China, the highest form of lyingflatism and the knowledge or the practice of running away. This will give us a deeper understanding of the true situation in China today. Before we move on, a Shen Yun video first.
Oh, the show is phenomenal.
This is the best ever.
The way I look at Shen Yun is this heavenly experience. I have never seen in my life so many amazing dancers, so many amazing and beautiful costumes.
Everything in the movements and the smile and the emotion. Absolute perfection. I just have chills, can you tell?
The music is really extraordinary.
It sounded like it was pre-recorded. It was hard to believe it was actual live music. It was so perfect.
There's no other company in the United States that does this.
My heart was touched tonight.
I love every moment, especially the message of the Chinese ancient culture.
That comes from our creator, and I could feel that in my heart and in my soul.
Our kids are 6 and 8 years old, and they enjoyed it and would like to come back to see it again.
Everyone needs to see it. Absolutely everyone.
This is the best ever. In the era of chaos, Shen Yun does bring us hope and brightness. Check the show schedule near you and buy tickets from shenyun.show/Jennifer-Zeng to get a discount. Now, let's move to our first topic today. You might have heard that the lockdown in Shanghai was over on June the 1st. But let's watch a video which says that people in Shanghai have just jumped from one trap into another one.
这2天的上海人不是在排队做核酸，就是在去排队做核酸的路上。因为从6月1日起，我们每个人都有保质期了，而且保质期很短，只有3天，连块豆腐都不如。昨晚邻居跟我吐槽，他下班后的第一件事不是吃晚饭，而是去给自己的核酸续命。他饿着肚子排了2小时，却没坐上。检测点8点准时关门，1分钟都不带等的。听说排队的人吵到警察都来了，但是警察也毫无办法，他也不知道第2天怎么去上班。这是昨晚排队做核酸的上海某医院门口，这是今天排队做核酸的上海某商场门口。至少排了1公里，400多人。大家本以为6月1日复工复产，恢复正常生活秩序了，没想到只是从一个坑跳入了另一个坑。你要精确计算你的保质期，随时准备给核酸续命，否则你就出不了门，坐不了车，购不了物，甚至回不了家。马上进入夏天了，上海最高气温将近40度，我难以想象，在这样的高温天气下，平均排队1个多小时去做核酸，那些老人怎么办？那些孩子怎么办？而且据说从7月起，核酸检测需要自费了，这对于很多家庭来说，又是一笔额外的不小的费用。复工2天，上海又新增了4个中风险地区，摘星之路还很漫长。这是我们自己选择的路，跪着也得走完。
Well, we may have heard about the so-called health code in China and how it is used to monitor and control everybody. But I didn't have a visual idea of what it looks like or how it works until I saw this video. Did you see it? Everyone was so anxious to show that they have a green code without realizing how ridiculous and dangerous this whole system is. It looks like these people were fighting to buy tickets, maybe a train ticket, and they must show their green health code to buy it. So everyone holds up their phone to show their green code so that they can be regarded as safe to go. The following video was from a subway station in Shanghai, also showing that people have to scan their health code to get into a subway station. Well, the Chinese characters under the station name say that one must have a COVID test report that is not older than 24 hours to get into the station. The following video shows that in Shanghai, an elderly gentleman was not allowed to use a public restroom because he doesn't have a health code. The staff member asked him to seek help from the resident committee.
你在哪里去办了？这个是疫情期间。你告诉我到哪去办？那你跟居委会去。要多少钱？你是跟居委会说。我跟居委会说好了吗？喂。说好了吗？
So the woman told the gentleman, "You need to go to the resident committee to get a health code." So she had a resident committee. So that's how ridiculous things are. And the following one shows that farmers are not allowed to harvest their wheat without a negative COVID-19 test report within 48 hours. Judging from their accent, this video likely comes from Henan province in China.
你找我的，这个你给我丢都不要搞，他车子上了，你车上不意思，为啥不要搞？那很难证明啊，很难证明也谁不可能，不是咱家的搞。I can't really work out what he's talking about. But the other man is saying you need to have a COVID test report. So that's the status in China. And the following video is a news piece produced by an official TV station in Beijing called Beijing Radio and Television (BRTV).
疫情防控期间，朝阳区充分发挥科技优势，通过安装大数据门禁管理系统、配备无人配送车等科技手段，既有效地防控了疫情，又满足了民生需求。
记者在聚福苑和松榆西里社区看到，小区安装了数字公共安全服务管理系统，通过刷身份证、社区门禁卡、老年卡等，可在1秒内完成身份识别、智能测温、北京健康宝、核酸有效期、疫苗接种等8项查验内容。
确实节省了我们很大的人力资源，它这个还有人脸识别，人脸识别就是证明你是我小区的了，我不用再查那个出入证。
自从疫情防控以来，然后我们潘家园街道办事处也是致力于人防加技防，也是缓解我们人防方面的这个压力。
此外，该系统也为精准防控提供了大数据支持。
在密接、次密接人员排查的过程中，能够迅速的锁定我们的这个区域人数，为我们的疫情争取时间。
在小红门乡，一种无人配送车十分吸引眼球。这种车挥手即停，可随时为居民运送快递。无人车具备 L4级的自动驾驶能力，单车载重可达500千克，每次充电可执行10几次至40几次的运输次数，可代替4位工作人员和1辆电动车，大大节省了人力成本。
Did you hear that? Within only 1 second, they can verify 8 different types of your information, including your ID card information, your health code information, and your vaccination status, COVID test information, and expiration date, etc. And it can even take your temperature at the same time. And 31 seconds of the video we just saw, The result on the screen shows that the health code of the woman who just scanned her card is all right. No abnormalities were found. She's done 4 COVID tests in the past 96 hours. The last test was done on May 29th, and the results are all negative, and she has received 3 doses of vaccine. The date for her last vaccination date was October 30th, 2021. See? All the information pops up on the screen in 1 second, and the CCP is so proud of its scientific pandemic prevention and control. Imagine, after people get used to this kind of monitoring and control, the CCP can use it to monitor everything in your daily life, not just COVID-related issues. Isn't this all terrifying? All these things are realities now in China. We are not watching some science fiction movie or reading something from the Brave New World or George Orwell's 1984. The reason why I'm sharing all these videos is that since the pandemic, sometimes some other countries also want to learn from the CCP because the pandemic started in China and the CCP always boasts that it is the #1 in terms of pandemic control. Some governments learned from the CCP and many countries once imposed very strict lockdowns. Now, seeing how far the CCP's digital control has gone, do we still want to learn from the CCP? If we don't stand up to defend our rights, what is happening in China now could be happening in other countries too. Next, I want to show another soul-stirring video. It happened in Shanghai a while ago during the lockdown. Some police officers wanted to take a young couple to a quarantine camp. So this was the conversation between a police officer and the young couple.
以后强制以后还对你们进行处罚，
你们没有资格强制
啊！
你们没有资格。
我们现在告知你们清楚了。
我今天在微信上面
到时候要对你们进行治安处罚的。
你们没有，
好吧？
你们没有资格强行拉走我们，不好意思。
有没有资格？有没有资格？到时候你自己看。现在所有的情况都告知你们清楚了啊，按照法律来办，好吧？
那你告诉我们，
我告诉你，现在已经通知你了，做好准备。 如果你不执行市政府的命令，对吧？就要对你进行处罚。
你告诉我要转到哪？
进行处罚了以后，要影响你的3代。
我们不好意思，这是我们最后一代，谢谢。
Did you hear that? When the police officer said that after you are punished, it will affect 3 generations of your family. And then the young man said immediately, without any consideration or hesitation, this is our last generation. Thank you. So he actually declares very calmly, we will be the last generation of our family. We won't have any children. Since this video was posted online a while ago, the declaration of last generation has caused so much resonance among Chinese social media users. People say this calm statement was so powerful as a thunderclap suddenly breaking out from deadly silence. This post says, I'm also the last generation in our family. I'm the last generation, so all the ridiculous things won't be passed on. What kind of deep despair is that? This tweet says, this young man's unusual calmness breaks my heart. A sadness flashes through my heart as if I saw the death of my own kind. We are the last generation. We no longer need the future. CCP, excuse us. We are not going to play the game with you anymore. This tweet says this statement is a dirge for the CCP. CCP, excuse us, we are not going to play the game with you anymore. It's the time for the curtain call. Big fish will give birth to small fish, and small fish will grow into big fish. But fish soup will not become fish again, no matter how delicious the fish soup is, and no matter how polite the fish soup is, its heart is dead. Even if it's still so polite that it still knows to say thank you. So this is the state of the Chinese young people now. The actual birth rate in China is so low that it is at the bottom of the world. This Twitter user continues to say the young Chinese are destroying their enemies through self-destruction. This is the last silent resistance of the underdogs. The captive who is destined to be sacrificed alive can only destroy the enemy's purpose of human sacrifice by committing suicide. I'm dead on the way to the altar, so you can't do your human sacrifice anymore. Thank you. Zhang Xuezhong, a law professor and author, said on Twitter that we are the last generation. Thank you. These extremely tragic words express the most profound despair. The speaker announces a biological significant decision we will not reproduce. Underlying this decision is a psychological and existential judgment. We are deprived of a future worth aspiring to. This statement is the strongest indictment a young man could possibly make of the time in which he lives. He continues to say that his tone of voice when he spoke was calm and natural, but exactly because he spoke so calmly and naturally, this was most alarming to hear. Some other people say this dialogue should be written in the history book. Some say it's so sad. I cried. Yes, silent despair could be more saddening than loud cries. It is a declaration that we won't reproduce more slaves for you. Someone in China has written a letter to an overseas Chinese language YouTuber saying that he was born in the 1980s, but he stays single now, although his parents have been pushing him to marry since he was 30 years old. But he has always been resisting. He didn't actually know why he kept resisting the idea of getting married until he saw the video in which the young man declared, "This is our last declaration." He said, "Now I had found the reason. This is also the answer in my heart." Last year, we did a program to talk about the so-called lyingflatism in China. Lyingflatism means instead of studying hard, working hard, and striving hard to advance in society, you lie flat and do nothing. Young people in China now don't want to work, earn money, buy a car, buy a house, get married, have children, etc. So the declaration of we are the last generation is actually the highest form of lyingflatism. It is equally as powerful and as desperate as the chained woman's declaration that the world has abandoned me. Another extremely hot word in China now is the word run. The Chinese pinyin for run is R-U-N. This means that many people want to run away from China. Run is so hot that another word, 润学, came into being, which means the knowledge of how to run or the discipline or the practice of running away. So these are the two most trending things in China. You either run away or lie flat and stop reproducing. Maybe the CCP is still making plans about how to rule the world. but many young people in China have decided not to be slaves or not to produce any more slaves for the CCP. The CCP always accuses other countries of being anti-China forces and says this and that country wants to subvert its regime, etc. But in reality, what will have brought the CCP down will exactly be the CCP itself, right? Okay, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to both my main and backup channels just in case anything happens again. Also, if you could, please consider going to my website and jenniferzengblog.com, signing up for a membership or making a donation to support my truth-telling efforts. Thank you so much. See you next time.